All right, cool. We're live. Hey guys, welcome to Sunday Prep, September 25th, 2022. Prepping for the week of 9:26 to 9:30. If you pull up the economic calendar, you can actually see some stuff. I'm not actually sharing my screen right now, but we have a really light week. I think the two biggest things to stay on top of are durable goods before open on Tuesday, as well as the consumer confidence on Tuesday as well at 10 a.m. And we also have new home sales. And then after that, Friday, we got the PCE, so PCE price index, personal spending, personal income, and how that has changed, as well as more UMich 5-year expected inflation with the consumer sentiment. So Tuesday and Friday are the biggest things to stay on top of. I think across the board, we're looking at consumer confidence to rise, according to some analyst reports, and we'll see if that continues. Aside from that, let's dive into prep.
Sure. And yeah, I wanted to get into something really quick as far as the economic calendar goes here. Add on to that, we do have Powell speaking twice. They both seem like non-events, so they're not going to be that important. We do have him talking, I believe, on, where is it, Tuesday, about digital finance. And then Thursday, he does opening statements, opening remarks for Chicago Fed President Charles Evans. Last time Charles Evans spoke, he dropped the market by some of the blips that came out. So that's another person I'm personally going to be watching for as well when Evans is speaking this week, which is going to be Wednesday at 2 p.m. And then, yeah, I believe that's it. Speaks here, but that's before market. So yeah, I just want to definitely keep that in consideration as well. The last time that Evans spoke, he said some things that the market didn't like, and he is speaking again on Wednesday. So definitely want to keep that on top of my mind as well. 2 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. And now as we look into the week ahead, this week is the last week of the month of September, leading us into October. And then with that being said, that also means that this is the last week of the quarter. So we have a lot of quarterly action that can happen this month as well. I do look at the quarterly and monthly timeframes. So when I'm running through my prep on ES, I definitely bring that into consideration. Through the first 3 quarters of this year, we have actually given up all of the 2021 gains. If we hold below this level right here, that is, I have it marked as my quarterly level at 37.48. We can start to potentially look into eating away from 2021 gains, and we are also not too far away from the COVID breakdown level below. So I'll get into that here in a second, but oops, wrong time frame. Want to look at this chart really right here. Looking at this zone to the downside, if we do break lows, I don't think we just go straight here, and I'll explain why in a second. But if we do, and when we do break lows, this is a major target for me. It's gonna be like 3,400-ish. This is the top before we had COVID, and I think it's a very psychological target that I think if we break these levels, that we will probably be targeting. So I'll get into prep here, and I'll dig into why I don't think that's necessarily going to happen right away, and why I'm not looking for a breakdown to here like this week. But start. So just to start off here on ES, on the big picture here on the daily, as you can see, we were working with a very big triangle, wedge, whatever you want to call it, and we actually broke down last week. So we were resisted here, weren't able to fully get it here. And then from the downside, we were supported here. We tried it, failed through, broke through, retested, and now lower. So as I'm looking at our key moving averages, everything is moving lower with the market as it does. And it's actually below this wedge as well. So looking for a push back to liquidity would not be insane in my opinion. And part of the reason why I say that it could be happening actually sooner rather than later is when you just look at the Keltner channels here. We did reach the negative third Keltner last week. And just like in a bullish or in a bearish trend, when you have Keltners on the daily, the market does not like to hang out at 3 ATRs, the upside or the downside, too long. That's been true in bullish markets. That's been true in this bearish market. And every time we have had this third Keltner tap here, what have we done? We reverted to the mean. Third Keltner tap, we reverted to the mean. Keltner taps, we reverted to the mean. Third Keltner tap, we reverted to the mean. And what are we doing now? We tapped that third Keltner. Do we get a bounce back and revert back to the mean? That is something that I definitely want to keep in consideration here, as we do have rebalancing and everything that's going to come with the end of the quarter. And yeah, and also considering that liquidity is above. We have the 15 above, we have the 21 above, we have POC above, we have a lot of liquidity above. I don't think a pop back there necessarily is anything super bullish either. I think even just a pop back this week up here of a couple hundred points just to get back to liquidity could potentially just be setting up for the next real legs down to the downside to then try to take out those COVID levels that I discussed. So in the short term, I'm not overly biased to the upside because I think the selling can continue. And if we do break some of these levels, I think there is fear that can set in the market, especially if we do break new lows on the year, which we failed to do on Friday. I do think that would spike some fear in the market and provide more selling. But as long as we are above this zone, and I'm actually going to color this green here just to give the significance here of, as long as we're above this and this zone holds support, not that I'm a bull, but I do think it's very likely from around this area, we do get a push back towards liquidity. We do get a push towards the 21, the 15, and POC. Now, depending on how fast and how quick we do that, depends on how high we're going to go. If it takes a couple weeks, inherently the 21, POC, and the 15 are all going to move down, and maybe we'll meet it around here at 28, 25, something like that in that range. But like I said, 200 points for the market is nothing. It has easily done that. It can continue to do that. And yeah, so also I want to point out the weekly candles here. So we've had candles like this where big down weeks and then big up weeks. So I would not be surprised to get a candle fill up as long as we are above this zone here that we are starting to establish. I think starting to work our way up the ladder is very possible. Now, I do have two very, very important levels on my chart this week, which is going to be my monthly target and my quarterly target, which basically means that I would not be surprised to see price this month on Friday close somewhere in this range. Now, it's not that small of a range, but it's about 35 points. I would not be surprised to see price close in this range right here. And I just leave that there for now. But I would not be surprised to see price work its way up and close this week in this range. Because of my monthly target, because of my quarterly target, I think price this week, as long as we hold this support here, could very easily close up in this range. I think it's very possible we even break above here and then maybe come back down, depending on how the price action plays out. But I do think I'm pretty confident that price can end up in this range, once again, as long as this base keeps holding. We are, once again, we did test that third Keltner to the downside. So as long as we hold that third Keltner and we don't break this level that I think will bring fear, I think we do have a pretty decent probability of at least some sort of cover pop. Now, do I think that this is the bottom of the market and we're creating a huge double bottom and we're going to go all the way back? Personally, no, I don't. I expect new lows to come in the next month or so. But in the short term, I think it's a very healthy move for the market to get some sort of bounce, especially at all of the support with the third Keltner, with the mean and everything above. I don't think that's asking for a lot. I don't think that's unhealthy. And I think it's been actually pretty typical of the price action we've seen this year. So for me, long story short, if this green zone holds, I am going to be looking for a push back towards liquidity. I do want to see and read price action as the week goes on. I am not a bull. I am not a bear. I want to just read price action and trade accordingly. I would not be surprised if we just continue to sell and a lot of fear struck the market and we did continue to sell off. And I think a lot of it's going to depend on what news and stuff like that comes out this week. But I also would not be surprised at all to get a pop back this week. It's really not a lot. think it was like 100 some points to the upside. Yeah, it's like 60 points to the upside. Now, does that mean we have a super choppy week? I don't know. That mean we rip back and then come back and end the week here? I'm not too sure. We will see. But for me, my target to end the week is definitely between two zones. That being said, these are my levels that I have. I'm gonna make some more levels in here in the meantime, but most importantly, these are the levels that are in play for right now. I will share my chart later, and there will be some levels below this zone in case we do break. I'll also have some levels above this zone in case we do break above, but I don't want to waste too much of prep, just me charting. So I will share that later. That is my general thoughts on the market, kind of what I think is playing out, and possible scenarios that I like. I'm gonna dig into some names here. Qualcomm, I really don't care about Qualcomm, but I'm gonna do my due diligence here. I guess, if you like this bottoming action here, we've bottomed here a few times, but I just don't like Qualcomm. I'm gonna let it go. Google, that low of year, I don't like it. Not a setup that I see in particular. I actually have a gap fill saying, did we sell it? Yeah, we did. Wow, funny. So I filled the gap from almost a year and a half ago, like the cent. That is funny. I always think it's funny when a level or a zone or a gap fill from over a year ago plays out perfectly, but then it did. So, if you want to play Google, I guess you could. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite setup. It's not my favorite structure in the market. I'm sure there's better, so I'm gonna keep looking. I'm not gonna put too much time into this for right now. I don't see what I like, so I'm on Amazon. Mm, eh, I don't love it. I don't even like it, to be honest. Structurally, I don't see anything that's pointing out to me right now. Mm. Yeah, it just feels like I'm forcing something here. I don't like it. Hopefully, I don't see it right away. Then, my opinion is not really worth trying to take your time to do. Roku, once again, another name that I just really have no interest in trading. It's damn near a penny stock at this point. It used to be one of my favorite stocks in the market. Now she broke my heart. So, let's see. We have like this level from when was this? This COVID lows? It was. So yeah, Roku's at COVID lows. I didn't even notice that, so that's funny. So potentially you have some support level that could be coming in here. Once again, it's not my favorite. I don't want to be the guy that's going in to dip by a COVID low level, but when the market's not even there right now. So definitely relatively weak compared to everything else. As you see, big ol' M. I went long on this day, never forget. Yeah, so I mean, I guess if you wanted to play long, I would risk against that 58.22 level, but it's not my favorite setup, as Roku, in my opinion, for a long time now, has just been going down. So I'm not really looking Captain Save a Stop. Netflix. Well, I prefaced this last week, and I've been prefacing this. This gap fill is gonna be super hard for Netflix to get through. I said I didn't want to short it just because I don't like trading Netflix that much, but setup was there. Rejected it again. Very clean setup. Personally, once again, I mean, I'm not gonna play it here. If I was gonna play it, it would have been last week on this push. That was a really good short, but personally, nothing that I see in in the price action that I like to play, unless it were to work its way back up here, and I'd consider it again. That's another thing. We kind of break this trend line. Maybe we can try to roll back over, but with the market, I'm looking to kind of see a pop this week. So I don't know. Maybe towards the end of the week, we do work our way back up here, and maybe that'd be a good swing play or swing candidate. Maybe put some risk in a couple weeks out. But for me, I don't see anything immediately on Netflix. If it does get a pop back up to here, I think that's an interesting level to short again as we came here off this gap down. Rejected here, rejected here. If we work back up here, try to play it back down here again. Nvidia, same thing. Is this COVID lows too? No. Where's COVID lows? Yeah. Oh. Nothing that's really pointing out to me about Nvidia. There's some gap fills way above, but there's nothing that I love, man. A lot of these names are so beaten up. They just don't look good. They all look better as shorts. Watch, we're gonna get to your little name, all right? Don't you fret. Let's see. This channel. Yeah, maybe we keep trading in this channel here. I'm gonna try to. I like this channel on Nvidia. Gonna actually make that on its own drawing really quick. I'd be looking to see if maybe it gets some type of pop off here. Try to target like top of channel again here. Let's see. We did the 15 above and the 21 above, so all right. Not my absolute favorite here, but my target would be 133. Break below here, I would not be happy. And wouldn't really be targeting the 21 here, but I would target the 15. 15 is a decent target. Jesus. Yeah, so I'd be looking to see if we can get this channel bounce back up to the 15. Maybe we kind of go sideways on these lows. Give us a pattern, something like this, and then we kind of go boom, 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 and then break out to try to get back to the top of the channel. But so for right now, I like Nvidia. Nvidia is my favorite name so far, I guess. I don't love it, but there. AMD, not going to touch. Back below this huge, massive port that I had. So definitely don't like that. Potentially on a retest. The future could be a good short area. Could be a really good short on the retest and short. So look for it to try to work its way back up there. But for right now, I don't like it. Jesus, yeah. So same thing with Tesla here. Let me. Right. Wait, what did I just have on? I had it to that wick. Okay. Oh yeah, I mean you have this kind of. You could risk against if you wanted to play Tesla with the upside. Trend lines here and then try to target back to liquidity. I don't hate it. And then call it. So yeah, I mean that's what I would do for Tesla. I would risk it kind of against this trend line if the market is sort of turning around here, and does get a reversion to the mean. I think Tesla reversion to the mean kind of makes sense. So I'll definitely gonna dig more into that this week as well. But I do like Tesla reverting back to the mean if the market decides to do the same thing. This would be just kind of my targets here as well. So I do I don't mind it. You know, then if we break down, I think we can really try to come back down here to 2 range. But like I said, I personally think the market gets a little bit more of a bounce right now. So I will be looking for that on this trend line. Bros. Bros needs to come down to something so I can load it back to 20. Apple link is yeah, I mean Apple's been pretty weak. It came back down here, it was strong. I've been saying all year that I thought Apple would have broke all-time high if the market was going to continue to go higher. I've been leading and we failed here and we failed here. These are actually all lower lows. So this one and and this one. So I'm gonna be waiting for this trend line to break to the upside before I get to giddy on the overall market, like in general. Just because Apple has tried to make the push a lot harder than the market has. If you look at the market this year, it's not as close, and especially this last push, not as close to making new highs. And Apple came in and tried and has failed on lower, and the market ultimately has gone lower as well. So I'm gonna keep that trend line on huge watch as the year progresses. Then also just watching for potential double bottom here, I guess, and then work our way back to this zone. But I like to watch Apple on a daily basis as far as Compass. I don't really like to trade it, but I do watch it. I'm gonna continue to watch it. I'm gonna see if we double bottom here. That that is also one of those names that's at COVID lows. Unfortunately, I think it was last Sunday. I think maybe 2 Sundays ago. Thought if we broke this, we could go down and see COVID lows. I know what happened. So missed that, but yeah, you could look for meta around COVID lows. Potentially see if you get a bounce. But once again, just like Roku, I'm not overly excited to play that. Shop. Why did you break my heart, Shop? Shop was not supposed to break this zone here ever, but it did. So we'll see. I was loving all year shorting this zone up here and going long into this zone here, and finally have broken it. So I'm going to be a little bit patient and not like overly zealous to try to just jump on the first ball here. But I would rather see if we get a retest of this zone, see if we get a retest of some liquidity, and then potentially roll over. If we can't get back into this zone, I think Shop could easily roll back over. Where do I think it could roll back over to? Well, kind of already at COVID lows, already at boom. You can roll over to 24, 20. We'll see. I really liked trading it in this zone. Had a lot of success doing so, and now that it's below, the first thing I'd be looking for is just a fail of getting back into it. So we will see. Then watch his favorite stock, everyone. Don't know why he likes Microsoft, but he does. Personally, hold on. I don't love it. They kind of have this weekly support, I guess. I don't love it. I know it has been relatively strong recently, so you could look for it there, but I don't love it. I don't really love a lot of setups, to be honest, right now in the market. I'll go back over what I do like right now in a second just to give a quick little recap. But my main focus, from what I could tell, is definitely going to be the market. A lot of names, in my opinion, look super, super ugly, and I'm not going to force them. So, yeah, I'm going to go back over a couple of my favorite setups here. We're fine. I'm actually going to try to look at a couple of these on the weekly here and see. Google don't like, Amazon. Huh. I think this was still below, right? Yeah. Amazon, Cool. Netflix, I like this short here, but need that to set up right. Yeah, for me, I like Nvidia as my favorite setup of the week, honestly. I like Nvidia and Tesla. Other than that, I'm not a fan of anything else in the market. Maybe a shot play as well, but for me right now, those are the only 3 setups that I personally see worth allocating risk to. Drop on a retest, but let me dig into Nvidia a little bit more here. And as I'm wrapping up prep, if anyone wants me to look at a name or has any sector and think that you want my thoughts or opinions on, just let me know and I will look at it as well.
Similar to the last few weeks, we are essentially watching the broader market, especially with all of the economic catalysts going on, the data that's coming out. I think across all of that, that's the top of mind as the primary focus. So expect to see a lot more SPX. Not to say that we haven't been trading SPX, but we're not gonna bet on one boat in the entire ocean of the market when the current and direction is going to guide us to where we need to go anyway.
Yeah, agreed. I feel like we have a really good grasp on the market at all times. So I think, using general compass of the market can help allow you to play some of the names, even if the setups aren't quote unquote the cleanest. So if you do like playing names, then you'll definitely have that as well. But for me, I like the market the best, and then I actually don't mind Nvidia here. I actually like Nvidia bottom of the channel if we do get the reversion back, and then I actually like Tesla as well. So from a name standpoint, those are my top 2. Bottom of the channel, try to trade back up towards the top of the channel, targeting 133. Then over Tesla one last time. Something very similar, just this trend line here. If we can support this and try to trade it back up towards liquidity.
Yeah, I like Tesla. Tesla and specs, SPX for me.
Awesome, absolutely. Ask, yeah. I was thinking about it. It's something that we definitely can talk about adding.